Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are live after 5 a.m. We're going to try this one more time. We've got an idea today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this button. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which button you want to delete. I'm going to delete either play or pause, or you could delete pause or play. Just not both. We just only need one. And then watch this, watch this, watch this. This is going to get fancy in here. Let's go play my video. Watch this. Watch. You guys see the play? You see the play button? I'm going to hit play. What's going to happen? Going to go to pause. That's what we're going to do. I do this every single day. And then we had the idea yesterday. And then after I had the idea, I realized, wow, I do this every single day. So, do you see this play button right here? Watch. When I hit it, it goes to pause. When I hit pause, it goes to play. Do you see this? The button? Only watch the blue button. Play. It's changing. It's changing back and forth. Are you with me? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use one button. Okay? Let me get out of here. I'm going to use one button, and when I push play, it's going to play. And then the button's going to show pause, and then when I push pause, it's going to pause. And then it's going to toggle back and forth. It's called toggling. How? I'm going to show you how to do it. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to put it in code. I'm going to show you how to do it in code today to change the image. By the way, this is going to be a great lesson for your final project because have you ever played a game where the image changes? Yeah, so let's say you shot a missile at an airplane and then the airplane needs to explode. So what you could do is when the missile hit the plane, it would explode and you would show an explosion, okay, for a second. Are you guys with me on that? We toggle the images. All right, so does everybody have this GUI ready? You only need 3 buttons down here. One. Let me go ahead and rename this so that people are not confused. Yep, it's going to be BTN play pause. Play pause. Not pause as in puppy pause, but play pause. What? Are we just going to, you want to just start with that? Actually, it doesn't make sense to start with that because you're playing and pausing the clock. So if the clock is not running, why would you play and pause it? So we almost have to start with the clock. Are you guys with me on that? Who's with me on that? Yeah, we almost have to start with the clock to get this game to run because it's the engine. If you don't have an engine in your car, it doesn't matter if you have a Lamborghini or a Maserati. You know, that Maserati or that Lamborghini or that Ferrari or Porsche, without an engine, it's just kind of, it'd be cool to have in your driveway, but it wouldn't be fun when you got to go to the store and have to push it to the store. All right, here we go, code blocks. Ready to rock and roll? Who's ready to rock some blocks? That's weird. What is that? Okay. So I'm going to put this guy in the corner. I'm going to go into my blocks. Here we go. First thing is we need a variable. Okay, we need a variable for time. So we want to go into the variable box. Everybody see the variable box? And you want to go and initialize a global variable. Okay. What's the name? Well, what do you think a good name is for our game time? It's probably going to be called game time. What's a good name for game time? I think it's game time. Okay. Now, we have to initialize this. Now, there's 2 things you can initialize here. You can either go into text and get a quote, quote, it's a string, or you can go into text and get a 0. Which one is it? It's a 0. Why? Yeah. Let's say I had something. I'll duplicate this. What happens if I had player name? Help them out. Okay. If I wanted to get in to find out the person's player who was playing, are you with me? And I would say, hey, what's your first name? And they say Rashika, and I said, okay, Rashika. This would be a quote. It's a string. Are you guys with me on that? Go ahead and do this, and even though I'm not sure we're going to use it, just so that you understand the difference between strings and numbers. Are you with me? What? No. It initializes it to like blank, blank, quote, blank, nothing. You don't know the person's name yet, do we? You know the person who downloaded your app over in China and just gave you $1 million? Well, made you millions of dollars because your app's being downloaded all over the world. Someone over in Australia and China is playing your app right now. Do you know their name? No, so we're going to ask them for your name. Hey, what's your name? You're going to say Tango. Okay? Yeah. So Tango's playing your name, playing your game. You with me? You don't know their name. You don't know their name. So you're just asking for their name, and then whoever's playing types in. You don't know who's going to play your game, right? Yeah. Yeah. Who's the person playing your game? Right, some random person. Bob, Phil, Ted, Mary. Okay? All right, so this is just, I just did this so you guys understand the difference between initialize something as a string and initializing something as a number. I think our game time is what? A number today, right? Okay, who's with me? All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is go to screen 1. Does everybody see screen 1 over here? Screen 1 has a property in it called screen 1 initialize. Okay, so what is this? When someone clicks on your app's icon, the app pulls up. Are you with me? It initializes your app. It starts the app. The application starts. Are you with me? You guys do this every single day. You go to Instagram, you press on Instagram, Instagram pops up, right? And you start playing with Instagram. You guys with me on that? Without hitting the icon screen, it doesn't initialize. Who understands this? So, when we start the game, what do we want our clock to do? Start. When we start the game, we want to start our clock. Are you with me? So, you're going to go down to your clock, game time, and we're going to say, let's go through here and look. Set timer enabled to true or false. Go to logic. If you want it to be on, you set it to true. If you want it to be off, you set it to false. So we're getting ready to do pause button. What do you think is going to happen when we hit pause? Time enabled is going to be equal to what? False. Right? If we want to pause it, we're just going to say, hey, that's false. Are you with me? Okay. Yeah. Go to your logic and get a true. Okay, so now we just turn the clock on. Okay, we initialize the clock to 0. And now we turn the clock on. Actually, this is wrong. I'm sorry, this is wrong here. The clock game time should not start at 0. What should it start at? 60. I'm wrong. Sorry. Yep, that's fine. If you want. So I'm going to start at 60 seconds. You got 60 seconds to play the game. Okay? Now, let's do one more thing here for understanding's sake. Let's go back to your game time. And I'm doing this in code so you guys can see this on the video because I don't do it on my GUI because you guys, I can do it so fast you'll miss it. Are you with me? we want to set the time interval. Okay? And I'm going to add a comment here. Okay? You need to know that 1,000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second of time. Okay? You guys with me on that? How do you add a comment? You right click on it. Okay, you right click on it. You right click on your block and it'll say add comment. Okay, 1,000 milliseconds equal to 1 second. Okay, let's do a little bit of math here. What's 500 milliseconds? Okay, that's equal to 0.5 seconds. Who understands that? Okay, what about 200 milliseconds? What's that equal to? It's like 1/5 of a second. So basically what that means is that if I make it 200 milliseconds, it's going to fire 5 times in a second. 1,001. So if I was moving my sprite at 200 milliseconds, it would move 5 times in a second. 1,001, it moved 5 times. 1,002, it moved 5 more times. Are you with me? It's how many times it fires in that second. Okay? So if I would do this and go, I don't know what just happened here. Okay. Wish I expand this block a little bit. So if I would make it 100, 100 goes into 1,000 10 times, it would move 10 times in a second. Who understands that? So what I'm going to do right here is go into my math property, grab a 0, and my timer is going to be 1,000. Why? Because I want my game time to move on seconds. Are you with me on that? 1,001, 1,002, 1,060, 59, 58, 57, 50. You with me? We're going to run the game time backwards. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. Now, we're going to go down into our game time timer event. And this is the timer event that's always firing. What do you want to happen? Right, so this is where I'm going to go ahead and set my variable. I'm going to set my game time and do some math on it. What kind of math are we doing to it? 60, 59, 58, 57. What am I doing? Subtracting. I want to go I'm going to go grab my subtract block. And I'm going to go find your game time variable again. So go get the game variable. Get game time, and I'm going to subtract 1 off of it. I started at 60, and I'm subtracting 1. Yeah, just a regular 1. And then now we have to display it, right? Do you guys remember we had a label over here to display time, LBL time? Okay, so I'm going to go over to and set my labels text. Okay, so we've done this before, so this will be a recap for you. You want to go to your text join. Go get a join command, and go get that quote string again. Okay, and here I'm going to type in time, :space. Make sure you put it, sure, time, :space. It's in the, you just got to go look in the LBL time box. And then what I'm going to put in here at the bottom, I'm going to put in get my game time. Okay? Okay? Now, this should run your clock down to 0. Okay? What should happen when we get to 0? The game's over. So let's do an if control block here. If something, okay, if my get game time, oops, wrong thing there. If game time is equal to 0, I can have my text to speech come on. Yep, text to speech can speak, and what can she come on and say? Game over. Game over. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could be cool and just go to screen1.title. Screen1 title, and you can set it to game over. I have videos here. This is why I make videos. Okay? This is exactly why I make videos. If you guys missed something, what can you do? You can go back and you can do this. All right? You guys should not. All right, here we go. So, oh, we forgot to do one thing. What should happen when we get, what should the clock do when it goes to 0? Should stop. Do you want it to go to -1, -2, -3, -4? No. So you got to turn your clock off. So game time. Here, we did this up here, right? Game time, duplicate this. Game time should not be set to true anymore. It should be set to false. Turn the clock off. Okay. You can run this, and we now have a game time running. Who can run this for me and make sure it works? We are back in the action. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to move on. So right now, let's go back to our designer. We have the clock ticking backwards, and you're now ready to play a game for 60 seconds, and the clock stops at 0, and Siri comes on and politely says, game over. That'd be cool if we could record Guru. You guys remember Guru on Despicable Me? And he shoots, he just blows up that entire, I don't know what it was, where they were shooting those ping pong balls out. Oh, mine said game over, so it's working. We could record Gru and say game over. All right, next thing we want to do is get our sprite to move around the screen. Who's ready? Here we go. Let's rock some blocks. All right, so we're going to go back to screen 1 initialize. Are you ready? And I'm going to copy and paste everything that's there. Okay. I am copying and pasting this because I want to set my, not game time, but my clock move sprite. I want to turn it on. And then how fast do we want this sprite to move? Not 1,000, right? Do you want your sprite to move once every second? Move, 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 move. You have to think, how many times do you want it to move per second? 5? You want to move 5 times per second? That's pretty stinking quick. So if you wanted to move 5 times per second, that's 200. 200 milliseconds. No. Just as long as you understand it. 100 seconds. Play with it. Go ahead and do it. That's 10 times per second. 1,001, it moved 10 times. Yeah, if you put in 1, it's moving 1,000 times per second. You're going to have problems. Okay? I recommend starting with like 500. It's moving twice in a second. You want to go cray-cray? You go 100, go 200, go 400. You with me? 500 is slower. 400's faster. 300's faster. You got to think how many times I'm moving in a second. I'm moving 2 times in a second because 5 is half a second. 500 is half. 500 is half of 1,000. Who understands this? You guys got to write this down on your paper, and you got to write down. This is a test question, by the way, and I ask you, how many seconds is 500 milliseconds? And you got to get it right. It's half a second. It's 0.5. You got to get that test question right, right? Because you got to show understanding that you understand timers. 200 is 1/5 of a second. That means it's moving 5 times per second. 500 is half a second. That means it's moving 2 times per second. Who understands this? Okay. Now, I'm going to go down into my clock move sprite and go get a timer event again. Just like this is always firing and doing what it's doing, now we're going to come down here and fire the move sprite and start to move our sprite. Okay? Yeah, we are. That's going to go inside of here. Okay? Yeah. That was a bad fish tank. They didn't put the right water in their fish tank. Okay, so here we go. We want to, when this is firing, whatever you put in here, it's what's going to happen 2 times per second. So I want to go to my image sprite, and I want to set its X and Y coordinate. And I can duplicate that and just pick Y. Set X and Y. Who gets that? Okay. Now, we have to do some intuitive thinking in here. All right. So we got to go here to this, and we got to start analyzing again. Everybody needs to break out their engineering design paper, and you need to draw this down, okay? Because you can't program what you don't understand, right? Yeah, but you didn't talk about screen coordinates, okay? So I've got to go in here and scroll down, extend this page, okay? And we need to start talking about screen coordinates, okay? So, here's your screen. This is your canvas. This is your canvas. Okay? You guys with me? Do you guys remember this was 0, 0 here at the top left corner? Who remembers that 0, 0? Okay. I'm going to see if it's going to let me put something on the screen. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. This is your image sprite. Yes. I want to have something in here I can drag around. All right, yeah, I can drag this around. All right, you guys with me on this? Does anyone know the width of our image sprite? It's 48 by 48. Very good, because you guys built this yesterday. Well, whatever it is, are you with me? You guys have some kind of width here, and I'm going to say right now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Isaac went to 30, Matthew went to 58 by 58, and Morgan went to 48 by 48. And Mauricio went to 20. Are you with me? It doesn't matter the size of it. Yeah, that's what we're getting ready to do. And I'm getting ready to show you this. Okay, so that's why you need to watch this. All right, so this guy is going to move around the screen, and it has some width. Are you with me on that? And what width you set it at, I don't care. 15, 20, 25, 30, 36, 48, 52, I don't care. Okay, here's the problem. What cannot happen? So let's just say this, for example, just so that you guys understand this, okay? Let's say we have a width of our canvas is equal to 300 pixels. Are you with me? And let's say this width of this guy was equal to 30. Are you with me on that? So you have a sprite that's 30, you have a width, screen width that's 300. Are you with me? What cannot happen? Can I let this guy go over here and go off the screen? No. Can I let it go down here off the screen? What? No. So we can go to 0, 0, right? That's here. Can I go negatives? No, I can't go negative. So how far over here can I come? What's the last place I can go to? And what's the farthest X I can go to right now? Do the math. What? No. 300 would be right here. Remember that the XY coordinate of your sprite is its very top left corner. So if you send me to 300, I am going to go right there. And is that good? Can they press on me if I'm there? No, you're off the screen. What's the farthest coordinate you can go to? Mathematically, somebody figure this out. What is it? Yeah. No. 270. Good, Isaac. Why is it 270? That's correct. If you send this right now, and we don't know the numbers of yours, right? Everybody could have a different one, so I'm not going to use these numbers. But just for example's sake, let's just say the screen's 300, and you know that your sprite's 30. Isaac is perfectly correct when he says you cannot go any further than 270. Who understands that? Okay, so how did Isaac get that? All right, Isaac quickly got that because he's smart, and he said, okay, I can't go further than 300 minus 30, which is equal to 270. So now let's make a mathematical equation out of that, right? What is this? Screen. This is your screen width. Are you with me? This is screen width minus image width. Are you with me? Okay. You don't have to. Remember, we don't know the size of a person using our phone, right? Not the size of a person. That's funny. We don't know the size of the person's phone using our game, do we? We don't know if they're on a tablet, a small phone, a large phone. We don't know that. So we don't care about screen widths. All we're going to do is set it as screen width. Are you with me? Okay, what about let's go down here. What about the height? Let's say that, let's go down here and just have some fun. Let's say that the height of the canvas is 400. Can I go to 400? Why can I not go to 400 coordinates? Yeah, if I set this guy to 400, it's not even going to let me do it. If I set him to 400, he's going off the screen. Are you with me? Yes, so the highest place you can go to would be 370. Who understands that? Because if this is 30 by 30, 400 minus the 30, right, is 370. That's so what is this? This is screen height minus the image sprite height. Who understands this? Okay, now we're going to put that in code. Here we go. All right, so 9 minutes left. We'll get this to run. Okay, so we're going to come back here, and Isaac is right. We're going to go to math random integer. Okay, and I'm not going to copy and paste this yet. What is the lowest number I can go to? No. What's 0? Okay. I can go to 0 here. Are you with me? So let's go back here and grab this. Okay. Can I start at 0? Yeah, that's cool. That's okay because I'm the top left corner, and if I go to 0, 0, I'm in the top left corner. Are you with me on that? Okay. I can't go over here to screen width. This is screen width minus image height, image sprite width. Okay. And down here, this is screen height minus image sprite height. So we're going to go back here. And then all this is going to do is start at 0. And then we have to do a little subtraction problem here. Okay. And we're going to come out and say, okay, the farthest I can go is my canvas playing field's width. Go find your canvas playing field width. There it is. Minus the image sprite's width. Because once again, I don't know the width that you set your sprite to be. Matthew's is different than Morgan's. Morgan's different than Isaac's. Isaac's is different than Mauricio's. You with me? Okay. Now I'm going to copy and paste this. What are we going to set the y's to be? This is not going to be width in the y. What's it going to be? Height. This is not going to be the width of the sprite. It's going to be the height of the sprite. So you just simply change those to heights. Okay? Now your player canvas playing field is inside my canvas playing field box. Image sprite is inside my image sprite box. Are you with me? You got to know where to get them. You now have a sprite moving around your screen. Okay, so all right, so we're back live, and I just tested my app. It does work, but 500 is a little slow. So I'm going to probably go 250. If I go to 250, that means it moves 4 times in a second. Okay, let's go to 250 now. Okay. And we can go to reset, connect. 4 times per second. Very good. That's good math. 4 times in a second, that sprite is moving. Is that better? Okay, I have a problem. There's a problem. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I moved my game time to 250. That should not be right. That should be 1,000. Oh, I know the problem. This is not move sprite. That's the problem. Hello. Okay. I had a problem there. Now it should be 250. Make sure this is move sprite down here. All right, so that works. Now it should be moving faster. Connect. Reset. Connect. AI companion. Is it moving faster? Is your sprite moving faster? The game should be going down 59, 58, 57. Oh, yeah, my guy's flying now. Okay, he's cooking. This guy's moving. All right, 4 times in a second is pretty fast. You better get your fingers stretched out, ready to go, and ready to smash. Okay, so that's flying. All right, so we're good there. How much time we got left? 4 minutes. I think we can do just a little bit more code. 4 minutes. Now, we want to tap the guy, right? And get points? Is that the next thing that should happen? Okay. So tap him and get points. So we're going to say if my image sprite player is touched, okay, what should happen when it's touched? Well, let's go look at our designer. We have something called hits and misses, right? So do we need variables for hits and misses? Yes, we do. So actually what I would start doing now, actually what I would do now is start creating a procedure, okay? Because now we're getting something where we want to start and reset the game. Are you with me? So we want to create a procedure called start, reset, game, okay? And then I'm going to take all this over here and drag it into my start, reset, game. And then over here, I'm going to call start, reset, game. Because when I initialize the screen, I'm basically starting and resetting the game. Are you with me on that? And by the way, I'm going to hit reset pretty soon. And what are we going to do when we hit the reset button? It's basically like starting and resetting the game. Are you with me on that? So I'm getting us set up for that. Okay. So now I need to create some more variables. Okay. I want to create a variable called hits. Well, let's call this hit count, just so that you know it's a count. Hit count starts at 0. And duplicate this, and we have another one called miss count. Okay, starting at 0. Okay, so in my variables, when I start and reset the game, I'm going to set my hit count equal to 0. And this is going to set my miss count equal to 0. And I want to go ahead and display them in my, so I can take this guy right here, duplicate it, and say, okay, this is going to be LBL hits. We got 60 seconds left. This is hits. We'll say hit colon. And then right here, this is your hit count. We'll copy and paste this. And this is your miss colon space. And this is your miss count. And over here, this is LBL miss. And that's it for today. You have to create a variable up here called hit count. Okay. You are out the door with more. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.